It is an extraordinary decline at that football club, and no long-term damage yet, dropping into the bottom three yesterday. But you can understand, I think, why they're as anxious as they are at Leicester, the owners.
Yeah, I think there are circumstances there that you could suggest the reason why there's been such a decline. I mean, the lack of financial backing certainly in the summer market, where, you know, with COVID certainly hit the owner and their business, and he wasn't given any money.
Got some good players.
Yeah, but they also lost Fofana, they lost Schmeichel, they lost players as well, on top of not being able to replace them and bring them in. Lookman, who was on loan but he went, you know, was a big loss as well. So then he had a few injuries that didn't help him. James Maddison got injured, which certainly didn't help, and they just haven't got going. And I think the last 7 games, 60 defeats, 1 draw.
I think you're being very kind. I think there's you made a lot of excuses there.
No, I'm not giving him. I think we have to look at.
I mean, he made mention there of his style. He wants to continue to play football the right way. Well, as Sean Dyche has shown us at Everton, sometimes you can't play your way out of trouble. You just
doesn't mean out of trouble. But he's not going to. Doesn't mean he's going to get them safe. That will be judged at the end of the season whether he keeps them up or not by doing what he's doing. But I think it's only fair to throw that in the mix for Brendan. You know, I do think he's a good coach. I do think he's got a lot to offer. And I thought it was a really good fit him at Leicester. I wasn't so sure about him leaving Celtic at the timing of it. But then he did take the job. He's had 2 fifth-place finishes, I think, Community Shield. He's won the FA Cup. He's guided them to Europe a couple of times. So you have to throw into the mix if we're going to talk about him as a whole, I think. And I think the financial restrictions that he was under because of the owners, because of COVID, because of the nature of their business, I think really affected the football club. So I think it's only fair to throw that in. I think he's a very good
coach, but I don't think those excuses stand up. I think lots of other coaches have had to work in similar circumstances.
Right.
I think he's had money.
Didn't bring anyone in the January in the
he brought in centre backs. It was a club decision to let Schmeichel go, who didn't really want to leave. It was only because they didn't want to do a deal, and has spent the large portion of the last 8 months trying to get back.
So what are you suggesting then, that it's just ran out of?
I think they probably ran out of patience with each other, that squad and Brendan. Maybe a change is a good idea.
What it might be. I mean, I'm trying to think of Brendan's record as a coach, how long he's stayed at certain clubs. I don't think he's stayed that long anywhere.
No,
I can't think he has, right? This might be the longest he's been anywhere. That might be a factor, Richard. We know what footballers are like. Sometimes the same voice for 4 years. It's 4 years, yeah?
Yeah,
4 years.
4.
Sometimes the same voice for 4 years. It becomes harder to motivate certain players as well. The one thing they have lost, I think, that this year has been big is Vardy. I mean, whatever we think about Jamie Vardy's ability, he was fundamental to their success when he was playing, because he was the threat, he was the goals. They haven't replaced that, really haven't replaced that. But, you know, I do think Leicester are like a lot of clubs down there, Jason. I look at the 2 we're watching today, and I find it hard to... I think people going in, different coaches going into these clubs, I think we'll get a different tune out of these people.